Okay, hi. This is my second time recording this because the first time it was before school and it was at like 6 a.m. and I had such a morning voice. It was just a mess. So this is me re-recording it and then the rest of the audio will be in the morning basically, but I didn't have as much like stuttering there because I eventually warmed up to it. So, okay. Hi. Welcome or welcome back. I'm not sure. Um so basically, this video is going to be a character design video. Um, I went on this art prop website and I got like 3 prompts, and it was just like the first ones that. But basically, one was a greatness shines within her. It was like random keyword stuff that I drew from. The second was he has ragged hair and a crooked nose. And then the third was something along the lines of elves in a forest. So I took like all the ideas and I kind of meshed them together to create the character design. I did this because I was out of ideas. I'll repeatedly use like emoji prompts or something just because I feel a creative dip and I can't come up with anything. So basically, I started out with a bit of line work and how each of them could be tied together in like a story form. I drew out like the features, I drew out the hair and the nose, like trying to tie him, like, oh, maybe he's an elf, maybe he's elven, maybe he's an anti-hero, or some kind of like man who fell from grace a while ago, or has been in life and everything. So I tried putting that in, like he's shaggy and older, but he still has like the body of someone who's working and currently fighting, even if it's all like scarred. So I did go with kind of like a medieval fantasy vibe just because of like the elves, like in the forest line, kind of gave me that hint, and I also kind of thought of like prophecies and that kind of setting. I tried drawing out the shapes first because I love the pose that I did in like the first sketch, but basically it's my first time I've ever done an angle like that. um but I just like the sleeves. I had to look on Pinterest for references for most of the clothing. I go in between like ideas a bit, mostly like a coat could be a coat, the coat itself is like has sharp angles. I really go around but how it fits on top of the shirt, like the coat fits on top of the shirt, and how I wanted the shirt to fit, like specifically because the shirt had its own silhouette. And I wanted to go with that and then also put the coat completely on top of the shoulders. So I kind of experimented with different types of armor and stuff because if he is fighting, he's still not, it's like still, it's not enough to like not have armor on, like just like the coat wouldn't be enough. But I ended up not putting a whole lot on just because he probably doesn't have as much money as he did when he started adventuring. Maybe he did once, but it's just like right now he's kind of a bit poor. So yeah. More colorful, it's more detailed than what I normally do, even if it's like a bit messy and everything. Do a couple coat things. Um, the coat silhouette eventually was good. It was kind of like asymmetrical. I gave him a sword. The sword has like a hilt thing, and I realized it couldn't be pulled out of a scabbard. So um, I ended up just putting like a kind of covering around it. And I really like those curved blades because I feel like that's a bit more interesting than a straight blade. And I also feel like it's better well hidden in his coat. So I feel like that adds to it. And then with like I started adding in I thought about like maybe like another detail on the head, like a hat, but I didn't really end up going with that because I just didn't like how the silhouette did, because the hair itself gave off its own vibe. And if I made that like big enough in its shapes, it would work. And then I also added in color. I really went with like dark grays and reds, just desaturated red though, because it's different than like a brighter red, because he's not very happy and he's not like the most, he might be agile, but it's not like to the point of being younger, and it's not like he's this rage filled person. So I only added like a bit, like a hint of red, and I feel like that really goes with it. And then once I'm done a design, usually I'll make a full um I will make a full painting out of it because it helps me simplify the shapes. It goes, oh, okay, this is what I need to, yeah, this is what I need to do. Um, this is how the hair will fall. And I have to draw this design over and over again. So it's better to figure out what you like about it versus what, like, oh, I don't like drawing this eye shape over and over again. It's frustrating. Simplifying down features eventually to fit your style more is completely fine. I feel like that's actually a better way of doing it because they look a bit more cohesive in your story. Um, with this actual painting, I had like a really distinct pose in mind. I actually kind of like the sketch more because I feel like it looks more like him. But it was like I really love like the overwhelming kind of like he's hovering over you atmosphere. I tried line art and then I kind of like stopped because I like the shape of the line art, but I wanted it to I really love the sketch. So I wanted to stick with the sketch and paint over the sketch, which I eventually did. Um but basically I just really like these two hair tufts. Like I really love that like chunky shape language, the line art style. I think that was like really good. I love that. I've seen that in art before, so I kind of like took part of it. I kind of morphed it to his design, including it with his hair, like raggedy hair, but I just made it like thick and voluminous. Um and eventually like I started rendering the face and it again like his skin tone might change a little bit just because with like shading usually I'll darken the skin tone and everything. I added this ombre effect on his coat, which I feel like is really cool, and I feel like that's really cool if you can't fully see his face in like shadows or anything. Also, further into this, I really like that it kind of looks like his hair melts into his coat. I just think that adds like certain details. I also love his ears. I just love this drawing, really. Um, I really had to look at reference for the shirt though, because I was trying it on my own and it wasn't working. So I was like, reference. And that worked actually. Not like directly copying or color picking, but like just having it there to be like, this is what the physical object looks like. That was really good for me. Um, and you can see like I'm just slowly rendering everything. Um, yeah. And it's not like the cleanest rendering I've ever done. It's just, okay, so basically also like just the painting. I did a lot of shading. Lighting was fine. Mostly it was just kind of getting the idea out there. I kind of rushed this. It actually didn't take me very long compared to my other pieces. But I really did like just try to cement like personality, maybe like how he holds himself. I feel like that was really important in this. And eventually I do go back and like I changed the original character sheet just a little bit because his face didn't like turn out exactly like it was on the character sheet and I was like maybe I should just like color on top of this. So you'll see that eventually just kind of with the hair silhouette. And it was just like a sketch. I'll probably use the painting as reference in the future instead of the character sheet, which isn't how that's supposed to work, but it's fine. A train just went by. Um, I don't know why I wrote down sword fishing there. If you made it to the end of this video, just thank you so much. You could like or subscribe, but just thank you. Habang tayo